If you want to understand how you can decrease your Amazon fees and increase your profit by a great extent, watch till the end of the video. Wonderful sellers, aspiring sellers, or if you watch these videos just for fun, well, hello and welcome back to Amazon Q4 Mastery. Week 5, the finale. I can't believe all this is coming to an end, and I think our today's session is going to be the perfect end to our 5-week summit. We have Yoni Mazor with us. Hi, Yoni.
Hey, Ria. How are you?
Yep, help me welcome Yoni. So do comment down in the live chat to welcome Yoni. Yoni has a very impressive profile. To begin with, he started developing GETIDA after successfully operating a 20 million yearly Amazon FBA business. And not in any category. He chose fashion brands internationally, selling fashion brands internationally, which is one of the most competitive categories on Amazon, as we all know. Yoni also comes with military intelligence experiences, and he has also served in IDF Special Navy Intelligence. So I have to do my younger self a justice, so I have to ask this question. Yoni, is it just like that what we see in the movies, the military experience, the Navy intelligence? Like, is it something like a spy movie, or how it is?
Not like a spy movie. It's just a wild experience, and it's probably wilder than the movies. For the simple fact that it doesn't last for like 90 minutes or 2 hours. It was 3 whole years, so it was a roller coaster ride, but it was unique, it was special, I'm proud of it. And anybody thinking about going to the Navy, I do recommend it. It's probably going to give you so many tools and values and experiences that later on will serve you in a very, very positive way.
Yep, I have some people as my friends who have worked in the military as well. I think the discipline that you learn from the military is nowhere to be found. Like, it's uncomparable. So do serve for your country, and I would suggest everyone to consider it. So now coming to today's topic, which is reducing your Amazon fees and increasing your profitability. The session format is going to be a little different. I'm going to ask Yoni 2 questions, which were the most requested question from you all, and then we move on to his presentation. So Yoni, to begin with, most of the sellers are confused between statement view and transactional view. I mean, I understand how shady Amazon is when it comes to giving their profits and incomes to sellers. They don't want to tell you how exactly they're distributing your profits. And after calculating, almost 30 to 40% of your profit is already taken by Amazon. So when it comes to transactional view and statement view, how can people understand what Amazon is trying to tell them? And how do we calculate our profits? How do we understand the statement? And just help us out here, because we at SellerApp oversee a lot of accounts, and this also bothers us because the advertising cost that they mention is never the same as in transactional view and the statement view. So please shine some light on it.
I hope I can shine a little bit of light, or at least the angles that we like to use. Transactional view is usually our favorite anchor to check out what's going on with all the transactions. So I would take that report and make it the center of gravity, and then try to take other reports and cross-reference it and see what makes sense to us in terms of advertising. Maybe even take just the advertising reports that you have and cross-reference. Amazon is kind of famous for having vagueness. It's not clear what's going on. There's so much data, so many types of reports. But I personally, and from our team, transactional view is a key. It's a good place to have all the data centralized, and then cross-reference it. So if you do cross-reference one report, it seems kind of iffy, try another one, but keep the transactional view as your main focus.
Yep, and coming to Q4 specific question, do our sellers expect any additional Q4 charges levied on them by Amazon this Q4 season?
Absolutely. Q4 is the prime time. It's like the NBA playoffs or any finals of any sports events. So everything is going to get more expensive. Tickets to the game will be more expensive. Parking into the stadium will be more expensive. Advertising in the event will be more expensive, like the Super Bowl, for example. So there's going to be an uptick and cost increase in all the little functions. So, expect the cost of logistics to grow, advertising, anything that you kind of do is going to grow. But this is good news because there's so many eyeballs in the marketplace looking for products to buy. There's going to be more and more sellers competing for those eyeballs. But the good news is that usually the ROI, the return on investment, is higher than usual. There's a lot of impact. There's a lot of power. So get ready for the cost increase. Make sure you have enough cash for it. And don't be afraid to fight the war. And especially with advertising, bid higher, because you're probably going to find that it's going to reward you a lot. So, this is the playoff, the final game. Try to enjoy it also.
Yep, that was very well put. Yoni has set us in the perfect mood for the presentation, so gear up. Just a warning, the presentation has a lot of numbers, so I suggest everyone to go pause this video right now. Go grab your notebook, go grab your financial statements, and let's begin, Yoni.
You got it. Let me share the screen, and we're in. All right, everybody. Once again, welcome to our presentation, how to minimize Amazon fees and maximize your profits. By GETIDA and SellerApp. This is a Q4 special. So, a little bit about GETIDA. What's GETIDA? Is it GETIDA? Is it GETIDA? It doesn't really matter. It stands for Get Intelligent Data Analytics, Get IDA, right? Essentially, we're a technology data company. We have a bunch of popular services, but the most popular one is helping Amazon sellers audit their account for discrepancies and help them get reimbursements. And we believe in assisting sellers to get maximum recovery, but make it very simple. We consider ourselves a global leader in FBA auditing and reimbursements for the simple fact that we audit Amazon accounts from all over the world. So whether you have an Amazon US account or Canada account or UK or India or Japan, we can audit your account and help you get a recovery. We are an award-winning business, an award-winning company. We won the Gold Award from the American Business Awards for our dashboard technology. We do have a dedicated team of claim specialists, and a big part of them are ex-Amazon employees. He used to work in the reimbursements department, so we kind of know what we're looking for and how to handle the issues. We actually track and monitor our recovery rate, and we have the highest recovery rate in the industry. It's over 70%, which means that for every case that we're going to open on your behalf, more than if we open 4 cases, for example, more than 3 cases will get reimbursed. And we like to make our solutions affordable for all sellers and of all types and all sizes in any stage. Simply for the fact that we don't charge a fee, we don't charge a subscription fee, we don't charge a retainer, we only charge a fee from the recovery. And this is what we call PPR, paper recovery only. So for example, if Amazon gives you $100 in reimbursements, we're going to charge a 25% fee, which in this case will be $25. So once again, anybody can afford it. If we got you $0, you pay $0, and it makes it very easy to get started. If you're wondering where to find us, of course you can find us at GETIDA.com. You can also find SellerApp.com, but both of us you can find at the Amazon App Store. Okay, which is really important. That means that we're authorized service provider with Amazon and on the App Store. And that's the beginning of the tips that we have here. If you're looking for a good solution for your Amazon account and your Amazon business, look for the App Store, and if the company's over there, that's a good start. It means it's authorized by Amazon, and they have a double commitment. They have a commitment to you, the seller, but also to Amazon as a marketplace, to the terms of service, private policy, data policy, and all these components. And makes sure that these companies are working on the highest level. All right, so without further ado, let's begin our journey into Q4 and some analytics and reporting. So here quickly, this slide explains how to grab a certain type of report that is in charge of the fulfillment fees of Amazon, the pick and pack fees. What's the pick and pack fees? You have an item in the warehouse, right? Let's say this phone cover, Amazon stores it, and once the order comes in, Amazon will pick the unit from the bin, will package it in a box and ship it out, and they're going to charge you a fee for that. It's called the pick and pack fee, and this is how you grab the report. And here the second type of fees, we call them type B. They're related to inbound shipment, FBA returns, FBA storage fees, FBA removal fees, manual processing fees. This is how you grab the reports. Okay. All right, and once you open the reports, let's see kind of how it feels and looks like with the Amazon Seller Central information. So here's a real case study of a $10 million seller. They do about 437,000 in 2 weeks, which gives it a run rate of about 10 million. And over here you see the classic Amazon vagueness, right? They tell you, oh, you paid Amazon fees, you paid 125,000. So you figure, okay, it's Amazon fees, but I'm telling you that from the report that we grabbed earlier, fees type A, which is pick and pack, it accounts for 51,000. 51,000 divided by 437 equals about 12%. So 12% out of all the revenue, 51,000 was charged with FBA pick and pack fees, and it's kind of hiding in there. You don't even realize. And then over here, down here, it says FBA fees. So you figure out, oh, this is all I'm paying with FBA fees for all the inbound, return shipping, all that stuff, 13,000. So you figure 13,000 out of 437, it's not a little, it's 3%, but it's not that much. But actually, when you dive into the analytics and do the reportings, you'll find out that it's actually 12 plus 3, it's about 15% paid just with FBA fees. And does not include the selling fees. So let's do a little summary here. Right, we have fees type A, fees type B, plus the selling fees. 32% from all the seller's revenue are in Amazon fees, which means for every dollar that you create in orders and sales, 32 cents is going to stay with Amazon. So this is kind of the beginning of our journey here to understand that where is the money going to, right? It's going in all these FBA fees. So we kind of did a quick analysis and a breakdown. And now the mission is kind of simple. Now that we realize it's 32% and we know where it's coming from, our mission is to move this number down to 31%, 30%, 29%, whatever it is. Every percentage we're gonna take it down, but have the same amount of revenue. It's all gonna go to the profit lines. It's just gonna go into your bottom line, and that's pretty much what everybody's working for. I never met the Amazon seller, okay, that was working not to make a profit. Not even one of them was like a government agency that says, oh, we're doing this for non-profit organization. I never met that, and that's what really matters. I met a lot of Amazon revenue millionaires, but eventually they're not making any money. Nothing goes down. So the purpose of this presentation, especially in time for Q4, is raise your awareness, so you're aware of what's going on with the numbers, and you are prepared, and you're going to take the right actions to grow your profits. Okay, now we just touched the kind of recognizing the Amazon fees, but here's a tool for you guys, anybody who needs it, to recognize all the types of fees for your business. This is a free template. Okay, it's a profit and loss template. Okay, you can do your quarterly summaries, and especially the Q4. You can just visit GETIDA.com/profit. This is a free tool. Okay, over here you're going to be able, these numbers are just for illustration, they're made up. But you're going to be able to, once you have the file, you're going to be able to put your information and get an idea of how much you're doing in net profit, for example. Right? So let's say you're the business, you made $748,000 in profit, 17% net profit. After all the fees are here, you got advertising, credit card, storage, shipping, professional costs, legal, accounting, development expenses, whatever you can think of, you just throw it in there so you know what your business is doing as a whole business, not just your Amazon account. Because over here you'll see that you might have Amazon sales, but other channels, or maybe even wholesale. So this is a wonderful, easy tool to just understand the numbers of your business. I recommend doing this every month, but at the very least, every quarter do it. And especially Q4, finish your year, do it for the whole entire year. See if you're making money. If you're making money, you're in a good start. If you're not, you got to make changes and fast to make sure that you're going forward, you're surviving, and you're actually a profitable business. So once again, this is a free tool. Enjoy it. GETIDA.com/profit. I hope it works out for you. All right. Now we can just dive. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so Yoni, I have a question. How can sellers link revenue trends to the overall health of a business? Are they correlated, and how can they link these two topics?
All right, that's a really good question. So you have to tie the top line, right, and the bottom line. So over here, you'll see this is total sales, the top line. This right here, you have an example. It's 4.2 million. But let's say you grew it to 8 million or 10 million. It's all good, but at the end of the day, you're not making less profit. That's an issue for you. So the net profit, okay, and the top line, if they're connected and both of them are going up, you're in a good spot. If one of them, the top revenue is going up but the profit is going down, there's an issue. That's why you need to have these kind of tools to always have the visibility and the understanding where you're going. Are you going up or down? And always, hopefully, they're both connected, going up. So the top has to match, has to kind of be in sync with the bottom, and if it's not, it's a real issue you have on your hands.
Yep. And what about marketing dollars? Because I can see in this receipt that many businesses put a lot of marketing dollars into their business. But are your marketing dollars actually growing your business? Like, how do we find out?
This is a tool. If you throw, if you increase your marketing budgets and you see the revenue is going up and the profit's going up, simple as that. You're doing something good. If your marketing dollars are increasing, your revenue is increasing. First of all, if your revenue is not increasing, that's an issue, and your profit is not increasing, that's an issue. You're just throwing money to the garbage bin, right? You're just advertising everything, but it doesn't generate anything new. That's an issue for you. So having this kind of tools and kind of chart and kind of visibility always helps out to kind of understand, if this is efficient or not. Not just for marketing, anything else that you do. Logistics, you invested more in logistics. I don't know, you're paying a premium to this other company, thinking you're gonna get your products faster and sooner, and improve your conversions and the speed of rotating your goods. But you see that it's not really making an impact. Use the tool. Use this tool and any other tool. But being an Amazon seller, being in the digital world, you have to be analytical, and you have to be very connected to the numbers, and you have to trust them. And it's almost like science, so you have to be vicious about it. Don't just, intuition is good. Your gut instincts and intuition is good to create something new in terms of a product, in terms of a utility, because you're a human. You understand our human needs. We're not robots. But once you have the product finished, you have to be, almost like a robot with all the other functions. You have it all under a chart, all calculated. This is the Amazon way. This is what Amazon is all about. It's all what they call KPIs, key performance indicators, from every little thing, from top to bottom, KPIs, and they trust it. If the KPI says things are going up, they invest more. If it's going down, they cut it off. They don't care. If they had a project, they invested $1 billion, but it didn't make what they think it's gonna make, they don't care about the intuition. Oh, we think it's gonna be great. No, if it didn't work, they cut it off. I don't know if you remember the phone. They had the Fire phone. They invested billions of dollars. It wasn't panning out. Cut it off. Stop your losses. Even though we're Amazon, we're big, we can lose more and more. They said, no, we're done. Let's move to the next thing. And that's what they did.
Yep. All right. Back to you, PBD. Thank you so much.
All right, you got it. Okay. So now we understand kind of, we have the right mindset of the fees, what kind of fees and what's going on. Now we can kind of enter into the first type of fee. And this is going to go back to the basics, right? Now that we know that the big, heavy champion of fees is the pick and pack fees. And the pick and pack fees is influenced by the weight and the dimensions of your product, which means that the larger, right, in dimensions or the heavier your product is, the more you're going to pay in pick and pack fees, and also in shipping and what's it called, storage fees, right? So pick and pack fees and storage fees are both influenced from the weight and dimensions. So this leads us for this first tip, which means or indicates what we should do is package smaller, lighter, and smarter. Okay. You're a seller, right? Let's give it an example here. And you want to send the ball into FBA. You have two options, right? You have an inflated ball that can be maybe 30, 40, 50 inches. And if you send it in with all this air, because of the dimensions, it's so high, Amazon can charge you $10 every time they pick a unit from the bin and package it and ship it out. Or if you're smart, right, you deflate it from the air, you squeeze it down, you send it in, and now they're only charging you $2.50. So it's a $7.50 difference. It's gonna make all the difference in the world. You sold 1,000 units, you saved $7,500. Remember that 32%? All of a sudden it can decrease to 29% or 28% in overall fees. So it sounds so basic, so simple, but that's the mindset that sellers have to have. And especially if you're a brand owner and you're a private label seller, you're the manufacturer, do everything in your power to be creative and try to minimize your fees. I don't know if you ever bought a mattress lately online, but when I bought like a mattress, it was all rolled up into this. When I opened it, poof, it jumped up. It was like the size of the room. I was like, whoa. And now I understand today, being into the logistics game in terms of cost and seeing behind the scene what it cost, it made the perfect sense. They squeeze it down to the very, very bottom and minimum. Now, another thing, if you sell to other stores, not just online, you have to understand something very simple in terms of Amazon. Amazon is very different from the traditional brick and mortar game, right? When you're in the brick and mortar stores, you're fighting for the shelf space. You're on the shelf, you need the space, right? So what do? You create a beautiful, shiny package. It's big, it's beautiful. It just screams from the shelf to the buyer, touch me, hold me, put me in the cart and take me home. All right, that's what they're kind of trying to do. And that's the science behind all that experience. It's totally different with Amazon. It's totally different. You don't have that issue. You don't have that need. Your shelf on Amazon is your listing, right? Somebody follows on your page, your images have to look beautiful, your videos, your title, your content, your A+ content, your enhanced brand content, even your PPC campaigns, everything. That's how you sell it, right? That's your packaging. Because no matter what, the moment the consumer got convinced and they bought your product on Amazon, they're gonna get all of them get it in the same kind of box that has a smiley face, the Amazon smiley, right? And all maybe the yellow envelope with the smiley. And when they open it, they already bought it, so you don't have to convince them. They already they just want the utility of the product, right? So you make your packaging elegant, small, and smart. Okay, so if you sell to other stores and also on Amazon, and your packaging can be minimized, all right, or the weight of it at least, consider it. You should have maybe 2 versions, one for the stores, one for Amazon, especially for FBA, because it's gonna save you a fortune, really a lot of money. So, this point of awareness, if you're listening to this, it's all new to you, and you can take action on it. This is the way to go. This is a good start and a good beginning for you to save a lot of money and have more money in your pocket at the end of the process. Okay, now that we realize that we need to kind of pack it small and minimize it just to be more efficient, that's just beginning of our problems. The second thing you got to do is track your packaging dimensions, okay, and all other supply chain documentation. Make sure you have it available. What does that mean? You have to know exactly what's the weight and the dimensions of your products, okay? And once you know that, you can be able to track that as you go along, right? Because what happens is, once your product's already with Amazon, right, things can change. The data, your information of the ASINs can change. And I'm going to give 2 examples here, quick examples. The one example is an honest mistake where, let's say, for example, your item is a handbag, right? Your item is a handbag, and Amazon every few weeks or every few months, they're going to scan your item with a big machine. They call it a cubic scan machine. They're gonna scan it, and then they're gonna try to determine what's the winning dimensions. So let's say you have a handbag. Amazon put it in the machine, but the handbag has a strap hanging loose, and because of that, it's distorting the noise, right? It's making noise into the data, into the scanning machine. So instead of thinking it's 10 inches, they think it might be it's 40 or 50 inches. Or for example, you have pants, right? You have 2 options to send pants. It's rolled up with and it's folded with the bag. They send it in, it's all good. But if it's open and loose, pants can be 30, 40, 50 inches. So, and if that happens, it's going to change the information, and the data what Amazon has with your ASIN is going to say, oh, it's much larger item, and they're going to start increasing you more money. They're going to start charging you more money. And the second example is militant. Somebody's attacking you, your competition. You and I sell the same product. I say, what, let me do a little trick to my competition. I'm going to take their ASIN. I'm going to list it on my Amazon account. I'm never going to sell it. But I'm going to tell Amazon, hey, this information on this ASIN, it's not 1 pound, it's 100 pounds. It's not 10 inches, it's 100 inches. So I'm going to inflate all your winning dimensions, and Amazon is going to begin overcharging you. Instead of charging you $2.50 per unit, they're going to charge you $10 per unit. So now they're overcharging you $7.50 every time you sold a unit. You sold 1,000 units, $7,500 dollars. You got overcharged. So this is the beginning. Once again, once you have sent your products in the smallest winning dimensions, you need to start tracking what's going on. And if you need a tool for that, we have a free tool for you. It's GETIDA.com/dimensions. You're gonna get like a chart. You're gonna be able to track and monitor it. And once you do find that Amazon is overcharging you, you gotta kind of take action. The first action that you gotta take is open a case and tell Amazon, hey, please update the information so going forward they're not going to overcharge you. You're going to stop the bleeding. And the second thing you got to do is ask for reimbursement. If all the overcharge, they're going to pay you money back. But there's rules to this game, right? They're going to give you all the money back that they overcharge you for 90 days though, right? So that's what we recommend, doing these checkups every 90 days. For example, because if not, if let's say you're going to say, oh, I'm going to do this once a year, you might have a big issue. Why? Because the whole year they charge you $100,000 with over fees, but the last 90 days they only charge you $30,000. You're gonna get that $30,000, but the $70,000 they charge throughout the year, you're not gonna get that back. It's gonna expire. So sellers need to be aware of this, the rules of the game. They need to be prepared. And here's a free tool for them. Q4 is coming, so if you want to at the end of Q4 see that you made more profit, do the checkups now. Okay, and be on top of it. So come January, if you're October, November, December, come January, if they did overcharge you by anything, especially when you did a lot of large volume selling because of the holiday season, you can do the checkups, and if they overcharge you, you're gonna get your money back. Now, if you need a more easier tool, I guess, so we have another free tool for you to track and monitor your winning dimensions. This is if you sign up to GETIDA.com. Once again, it's free. You're gonna get free access to our dashboard technology. And what's gonna happen is that you're going to see in the dashboard your information already there, what Amazon thinks about it, right? So you have the ASIN here, you have the SKU, and all this length, right? The wedding dimensions information here, it's what Amazon already has on your ASINs. So therefore, you can quickly see, hey, this ASIN, instead of being a 5-inch, I know that's 1-inch. So you can recognize right away and identify the issue. So this is a free tool for you guys to use. This is on a dashboard level. Okay, before we give a free tool of an Excel file, but this is if you want to get more, quicker access to Amazon's data. This is a shortcut because you don't have to go to Seller Central and grab all the data. It's going to be there for you. So if anybody needs it, it's there. You see on the left side, it's going to pick and pack. You click there, and you're going to get access to our free tool. I hope you guys enjoyed that as well. Questions, Ria, so far?
Yeah, so I feel like this was such a timely advice, coming to the whole inventory situation that's been created by Amazon right now. So going back to your slide where you spoke about packing lighter, I think that is one of the most best advice that one of our sellers speakers have given us by far. So you need to understand that Amazon right now during Q4 and due to this whole pandemic situation is not stocking up as many products like it did before. So if you cannot sell a smaller product, it's better for you to get your product look smaller, like packaging wise. So that was really good advice. And another suggestion that I would like to give you is to consider FBM. I understand how scary it must be with the whole UPS situation, but you need to understand that gift baskets are the most selling products this Q4 season. So if you're selling gift baskets, especially that has chocolates or any other items which can get spoiled over time in Amazon warehouses, it's best for you to consider FBM. Also, because gift baskets are usually bigger, FBM is the best option for you to consider right now. So back to you, Yoni.
I agree.
Yeah, please continue.
I wanted to agree with you with the FBM. What we were selling on Amazon, obviously FBA was the largest portion, but we always had a FBM backup. So no matter what, logistically something happens with FBA, we have an FBM item that's ready to go to ship out. So we never want to lose a sale. You as a seller, make sure you're always prepared to never miss an opportunity to miss a sale. So we always had FBM as a safety network. Sometimes if you have stranded inventory, you have suppressed inventory, all these weird things that happen that might affect your ability on FBA to sell. So having an FBM backup is highly recommended, especially in the prime time season, which is Q4. Sorry, Ria, you had another question, right?
Oh yeah, so I wanted to understand how A/B testing works, because I understand Amazon does A/B testing and then they put their fees on you. So how can a seller avoid the A/B testing fees that comes up to almost $300 for some sellers? So how can you avoid that?
One second, the A/B testing for give me an example for this
for
testing
inventory.
Again. I'm not sure I understood the type of A/B testing.
Alright, so we know that Amazon does A/B testing in inventory. They sell your products to different warehouses to see if that works or not, and sellers are almost charged like $300 by the end of it. So how can sellers avoid getting charged for A/B testing that happens by Amazon in warehouses?
Oh, that's a tough one. That's a really tough one. If I had to kind of have a sense of direction on this, is just this probably involves more your ability, I guess the quality or how quickly the product conversion is. So I don't know if you ever looked at your matrix with conversion. Maybe it's a threshold. If you're above 8% conversion, so for every 100 entries to your listing, more than 8 people buy it. Immediately Amazon says this is a winner. We don't have to kind of think too much. Anywhere else we put it, it's going to sell. But under 8%, they say, you know what? It's a slow mover. Maybe it's more the regional area. It's going to be better. It's a more of a winter product. So we put in the north area where it's colder, in the south it's warmer. It can be maybe a jacket, right? A big jacket, stuff like that. So it might be related to these kinds of matrix. So, but in general, as far as we can see, if you have a hot product that's is very broad, you can sell to anybody. You're probably gonna be able to avoid that. But if you have something that's more niche, more maybe seasonal, stuff like that, it might be might be the issue. So either you're prepared to pay the fees, and if you really want to avoid it, maybe you should find a way to increase your conversion rate, or maybe focus on a different product in terms of sending it to FBA, and just keep that product with FBM, fulfilled by merchant.
Again, timely advice and such good advice by you, Yoni. So let's get back to your presentation.
You got it. I have a bunch more slides and tips, guys. So bear with me. All right, this one's the fun stuff. It's kind of mathematical, right? So this is the world of, I guess, returns and removals, right? If you're an Amazon seller, there's two basically statuses for your FBA inventory. One status is it's sellable, right? Amazon can sell the product. And the second status is unsellable. Amazon calls this unsellable. And when your products become unsellable, you have two options. Either do a removal order, take the products out of FBA, right, and take it back home. Or the second option is to just dispose it. Just tell Amazon, store it to the garbage. I can't deal with this headache, right? So the thing is this, our data, GETIDA's data shows that most of the inventory can be refurbished, resold, or reinvested. What does that mean? Yeah, we see that more than 80% of the inventory is perfectly fine. There's no issue with it. You can just send it back to Amazon, to FBA, and sell it and cash it out. So here we're going to give a mathematical example. We're going to do the math in a minute to see if it's worth it or not. But it really depends on your price points. It depends on your cost structures. But every seller probably has to go through this mathematics, and you just put an Excel chart, put all the costs in to see if it makes sense for you or not. But I'm going to give you a little bit of the logic why that most of the units that come back from FBA are fine is because, some consumers are very smart. They know if I bought something on Amazon and everything's fine with the product, I didn't touch it, right? I didn't even open it, but I don't want it anymore. So I know that if I'm going to tell Amazon I don't want it anymore, they might tell me, okay, you send it back to us and you're going to pay $2, maybe $3, maybe $4, $5 in shipping. So some customers, I don't want to pay a few dollars in shipping. So what do? You tell Amazon there's something wrong with this. Because if you're going to tell them something's wrong with this, they're going to get free shipping, no problem. So you tell them it's defective, if you tell them it's broken, whatever it is, boom, you get a free return shipping label. So what happens is when Amazon gets your product back, even though it's mint, nothing happened to it, not even open, they trust the customer. With Amazon, the customer is always right, even if they're wrong. And once they get the product back, they say it's unfulfillable. So now it's up to you, the seller, to take action. They're they're outsourcing the inspection to you. You can take it back, inspect, and if it's good, send it back in. They're not going to do that thing for you. So now that you guys are aware of it, that you know of it, let's do some math and check out an example to see if it makes sense or not, right? So here we have a product that the original cost is $2, right? And then to do a removal order is 50 cents. Usually it's 50 cents. For a big item, it's going to be 60 cents. Inspection, right? Somebody's going to open it, check it, test it, whatever. It's labor. You're paying for a muscle for people. That's about $2. And then reselling cost is when they package it again, send it back to FBA, stuff like that. It's probably going to run you another $2. So overall, the cost of removal is $6.50. So your cost increased from $2 originally to $6.50, 3.5 times more. Boom, right? Heavyweight. You took a lot more cost upon yourself. But let's see what happened. Essentially, you sent it to Amazon and you sell it for $19.99 for $20, right? Amazon will take 32% in fees. Remember that 32% that we saw earlier? All right, so your net proceeds now will be about $13.60. Take $13.60 minus $6.50. You're gonna make net profit about $7.09. So in this mathematical example, yes, it absolutely makes sense to not only get back to your cost, like you're gonna increase your cost a little bit more, but you're gonna get $7 back. So you invested $6.50, you got $7. That's more than 100% return on your money fairly quickly. I don't know if you invest in the stock market in India or in Wall Street. To make 100% on your money in a few weeks or a few months, that's not easy. You probably can't, most people cannot do that. But here you have the opportunity, a potential opportunity to do it. So mathematically speaking, you put all the cost structures in and it makes sense. So here, look, you have a double win, right? Because you're able to get your $2 back, right? Or even your $6 back or $6.50 plus profit. All right, because before, if you just tell Amazon dispose my product, all this inventory, all that cost is, you lost it. You're never gonna get it back. But here you have an opportunity to take it back plus all your profit. Questions on this one?
I understand that, Amazon thinks it's just easy to dispose of the products, but as an environmental friendly person sitting here, right here, I think it's just not fair to, dispose of so much inventory without without thinking that this could be reused, refurbished, or as you said, reinvested. So I advise all the sellers to, follow this method, get your things back, fix it if you can, and sell it on other markets. Like you have thrift store or you have like charity events. So just a suggestion out there, instead of letting it go to waste, give it to someone who needs it and he would be happy to take it. So
great advice. Yeah, if you can also donate it. If you donate it, at least here in America, you can get a tax deduction right away. So it's good. It's going to save you on taxes, and it's probably the best thing to do morally. Yeah, great advice.
Thank you, Yoni. Now going back to your presentation.
You got it. All right, so Next tip. This is kind of the bread and butter of what we do, GETIDA. This is about auditing your Amazon account for discrepancies and trying to solve them. And once you solve them, you get paid, so you're able to increase your revenue and your profit. So statistically speaking, right, we see that the FBA discrepancies can range between 1 to 3%, right? So this means that if you do about $1 million on Amazon annually on FBA, the discrepancy rate can range between $10,000 to $30,000. So that's kind of available money for you to get back if you audit your account. And the rules of the game is that for most issues, not all issues, for most issues, you're going to be able to go back 18 months, all the transactions that happen. So I'm going to give you one basic entry-level example of discrepancy, right? You shipped 1,000 units to Amazon's warehouse. Amazon only received 990 units. Right, so there's 10 units missing. That's a discrepancy, and this is what we call a logistical discrepancy. And most sellers are aware of this kind of issue, but this is just the beginning. Once your products are already in Amazon's warehouse, right, inside the warehouse, things tend to get lost, damaged, destroyed, or simply disappear. That's when it's inside the warehouse. Also, between warehouses, Amazon, like the A/B testing you mentioned, right? They're gonna transition your products from Kentucky to California, from California to Nevada, whatever it is. They move along the chain of logistical chain. So you have to track and monitor that. If things happen there, you're gonna have to take action. When Amazon ships your products from their warehouses to the consumer back to Amazon, Amazon back to you, the seller, all these logistical friction points, you have to be tracking and monitoring it. And once you find the issues, open a case and get yourself a reimbursement. This is on the logistical end, but on the financial end, like we mentioned earlier, the pick and pack overcharges, that's a financial discrepancy where instead of charging you $2.50 per unit every time they pick and pack, they charge you $10. That's a financial discrepancy. You have to be on the alert for that as well. So once you find all these cases, all these issues, do not open them all at once. Let's say you find 100 or 200 or 300 issues, don't file it in like a few hours. And especially if you're doing it for the first time and you have no idea what you're doing, and all these cases are going to get no, they're going to get rejected, you might have an issue. It's not going to reflect well in your account, so drip it in, test the water. And of course, if it's too much of a headache for you, you don't even know where to start, reach out. There's services out there that help with this. It happens to be that GETIDA is one of them. So if whoever needs help with us with this, we'll be happy to help. And once again, we're not going to charge you anything upfront. Only if we're successful, we're going to charge you. So on a general level, we do recommend sellers to do as much as they can on their own to get as much as you can with reimbursements. But once you're done, reach out to our companies. You can reach out to us, for example, and whatever you're missing, whatever you left behind, we're going to help you get that back, because if you don't, it's going to expire. Like I mentioned, most issues, you got 18 months limitation. Other things have 90 days, like we mentioned, the pick and pack. So, do not miss out, because if they expire, you're kind of losing twice, right? You're losing your cost of goods, right? The money that you invest into the inventory. And the second thing you lose is your profit. And why? Because Amazon is really nice. They're really fair, right? Because when they pay you a reimbursement, they pay you as if you sold that unit on Amazon, right? And that usually includes a profit. So here you have the opportunity to take a double negative momentum and shift it to a double positive momentum. You get your inventory back, your money, right? And also your profit. So really highly recommended. Do not miss out. Do the maximum you can do. Then reach out to companies. They'll come and give you all that extra value. And they're only going to charge you a fee if they're successful. So that's always good. And let's take a mathematical case study example of the positive impact of good auditing and reimbursement, right? So we have this case study of an $18 million seller. They sold about 300,000 units, and of which 9,000 units got affected, which puts it on the higher edge of the spectrum. 2.8% of the inventory got affected, right? So remember I said it's 1 to 3%. So in this example, it's 2.8%. And GETIDA will help them get 1.5% back in reimbursements, right? Which translated to, after our fees, right? It translated to $151,000. Okay, extra to the seller, to the for the profit, which increased the profit by 11%. It's kind of dramatic, right? Because the 1% from the top boosted the bottom line by about 11%, because the profits before GETIDA were 1.3 million, and then we added 151,000. So 151,000 divided by 1.3 million, pushed the bottom lines by about 11%. So this is kind of the illustration of the impact, the positive impact of reimbursements to the bottom lines. Because all your costs stay the same. You sold $18 million, everything stays the same, but all this money just comes back to you. Where does it go? Straight to the bottom line. There's no cost attached to it. There's just pure value, pure money, pure liquid. which is really good. But look, this is kind of the beginning, because if you look here on the left side, there's more opportunity. There's a 3 to 5x or more opportunity impact for you, and especially if you're selling your Amazon business. If you want to sell your Amazon business, whoever's going to come and buy it, they're going to pay you a multiple from your profit. So if you're making $1 million profit, they might pay you a 3x or 4x or 5x on your business. So they're going to pay you $3, $4, $5 million for your business. But if you were able to add another 151,000 to your profit, right? So that 151,000, if it's a 3x, 4x, 5x, it becomes $450,000 or beyond. So the impact becomes even stronger if you want to sell your business. But if you just bought an Amazon business, hey, you have an opportunity. You're going to go back 18 months, and all that money that the other seller, neglected to take out, you're going to be able to take it out. So if you got 151,000, it improves your return on investment. You're going to get the money that you invested into the Amazon business much quicker. So there's two hats to wear. If you're buying, all right, you have an opportunity. If you're selling, you have an opportunity. So all the, every dollar becomes much, much more valuable. So that's a really positive impact. And if you need an incentive, I guess, to try to get a positive impact on your bottom line with the FBA reimbursements, we prepared a special offer, for the Q4 audience with SellerApp. If you use a promo code SAP400, okay, which is SellerApp 400, the first $400 we're gonna recover for you in FBA reimbursements will be absolutely free. We're not gonna charge you a penny. Okay, this way, you can try us out. If you feel like this value, you enjoy the service, you enjoy the impact, you can stay. If not, you can, after we got you the $400, you can leave. That's fine as well. Our mission is really to empower you. We do anything that's in our toolbox and our knowledge to empower you, because you, the seller, are the most important thing, in my opinion, for the marketplace. Because if there's no sellers, there's no marketplace, right? There's not going to be selection. There's not going to be innovation. There's not going to be competition. There's not going to be growth. Nothing. It's just going to be boring. It's going to be dead, right? So as long as the sellers are empowered and they're going to last for many, many years, we're going to last also. So, our service is very, very flexible, very dynamic. It's very customizable. So even if you do your own auditing, we encourage you to keep doing it. We're going to come hand in hand to help you, to find things that you missed out, right? So we're almost like an insurance plan. So if you need to try us out, this is a little bit of an incentive, $400. No matter what, you're going to have extra in your pocket. And if you like and enjoy it, stick around. If not, that's okay. And boom, questions.
Yep, that was a very detailed PPT, and I think it covered everything that people need to understand when it comes to Amazon fees, how you can get them reimbursed. So I think this was one of the most informative sessions that we have had so far. Thank you, Yoni, for that. So my last question is, because I like stories so much, if your financial statement told a story, how would it end?
So hopefully it's going to be like a fairy tale story where you made a profit, and hopefully a good profit. And then you're able to live merrily, ever after. Just right into the sunset and, retire. Maybe get a nice beach house. But really, it's really important that sellers are aware that they work so hard. It's not easy to be an Amazon seller. Every day it gets more intensive and just more challenging. And if you were doing all this and have no idea how much you're making in profit, that's not good practice. So the story has to be a happy ending for you, a fairy tale ending. So try to make sure to do everything in your power that all this noise, all the stuff you created trickles down to a bottom line, which then you can take it to your home, to your family, to your business, to your future, and right into the sunset and have like a good Disney ending where just and the prince and the princess and the whole family lived happily ever after.
Yep, that was very well put. I'm overwhelmed, so yay. So thank you for such a wonderful session, Yoni. And for those of you watching right now, if you want help calculating your profit, go check out SellerApp's free profit calculator. It will be linked in the description below, or you can find it anywhere on the screen. So go to our sales dashboard and you will see the tool right there. We have a lot of free tools at your disposal to help you out with your Amazon selling journey, because as Yoni mentioned, it can get brutal. It's more like a war zone. So we're here to give you your fairy tale happy ending. Thank you so much, Yoni. Do you have any more tips and tricks that you would like to add on to the session right now?
Yeah, one last thing of awareness if anybody wants it. Just remember that your purpose, your mission as a business owner, as a retailer, is to have all your products available for sale all the time across as many channels as possible. Obviously, Amazon is the most powerful channel right now for e-commerce, but do yourself a favor, reach out to more channels. If it's Flipkart, if it's eBay, if it's your own website, whatever you have to sell to the world, try to make it available as many channels as possible. That's your duty. Okay, and the more that you do that successfully, the more eyeballs you're gonna get on it. Hopefully, the better story you're gonna get. So for Q4, today more than ever before, you have like SellerApp and platforms like that just help you do the outreach and reach to more places and do it efficiently and do it successfully and just grow. Focus on the growth.
Yeah, that was correct. And we have spoken about this in our previous sessions as well. So do check out our session with Amy Weiss, where she tells about how you can scale your business. It will be linked in the description below again. So do check that session out if you want to understand how you can scale and understand your numbers correctly. Thank you so much, Yoni. We have Sunitha Sundaran coming in tomorrow to answer all your questions, provide you with tools, and you all have loved her so much in the past. It was impossible for us to not get her tomorrow as well. So do leave all your questions, your queries in the comment section below or in the live chat right now, and Sunitha tomorrow will answer them for you. So let's welcome Sunitha for tomorrow, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.